these 3-station pods here for Oculus Rift. So yeah, we kind of ran here in the morning, and the line is already massive. The doors just opened to the general public. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I'll let you guys know how it is. So here we are at PAX Day 2, and as you can see, we're all here at the Natural Selection booth. We are partnered here with Chivalry, who's showcasing their Deadliest Warrior game. Hugh is trying to duck away and run as he's going back and forth here. So far today has been, as you can see, the mood for today is kind of silly. One thing that did happen this morning that was awesome, and we're going to have to split up and take turns, is that we got to try Oculus VR. That was me, Wasabi, and Michelle. We got to go over there, try it out. It was so awesome. We tried Hawken, which was kind of like their mech warrior type game. It was pretty amazing. You can fly around with it, look left and right. You actually felt like you were in the cockpit. The only thing that sucked is that there was no sound, so you didn't really have that full immersion. But with the visuals, it was pretty stunning. So we're gonna make sure today that I bring you some more interviews, just like I did yesterday, and find out some publishers. I'm gonna try Elder Scrolls Online, maybe EverQuest next, some other things that I can find around here for you guys, and hopefully interview some devs as well. So stay tuned. Hey guys, what's up? It's Red Dog from REDDOG.TV, leaving the booth again from Natural Selection 2 and coming into the indie section of PAX here. I'm here with Alia from the maker of Don't Starve. You may have heard about this game. I know that a lot of my friends have already been telling me about this game and how awesome it is, and how challenging it is, and just how fun it is. So who better to explain this game to somebody that has never, ever seen it and has been interested in it, and Alia himself here. So welcome, man. It's really good to meet you. Yeah, so what is Don't Starve? Like, I'm seeing here an uncompromising wilderness survival game full of science and magic. Tell me about it in a nutshell. What's Don't Starve?
So basically, we throw you in the middle of nowhere, right, and we give you no instructions, and there's no help of any kind. We give you some basic advice, which is don't starve, and then once you got that, you've got to figure out the rest by yourself.
Okay, so the game is quite literal. Like, don't starve.
That's the only explicit thing we ever tell you to do.
Right.
The rest, we really try hard about not trying to give you any goals.
Okay.
You have to make your own goals.
Okay, all right.
And the world gen's set up in a way so that hopefully you get little hints here and there. You walk somewhere and you find this thing, and then you want to investigate why it's like that.
Right.
And you're trying to find out about the world as you go along.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So where did the concept of this kind of start? Like, just in your head one day, you're having coffee?
No, two of the guys back in the office, we have a game jam once a year.
Okay.
And so they did a game jam.
Okay.
And that game was completely different to this game. As all game development, it changed a lot as it grew.
Right.
And so I joined the team maybe 3 months after they'd started. Okay. And at that time it was still quite different. It hadn't gone procedural yet. Right. And so it was a lot more small of a game. And and then over time we just kept on talking about things and changed, and then eventually it turned into this kind of large, like never-ending kind of quest for, well, whatever you want to quest for, basically,
Well, I mean, after Don't Starve, is there anything on the horizon that maybe you're looking at, some concepts?
Yep, well, Don't Starve is one of these games where you've always got more to put into the game. Like every idea that we ever fit into the game, kind of got us to think about, what else could we do, right? And so the world, there are always things we could do with that. So we'll probably do DLCs, probably the next thing.
Awesome.
We're just wrapping up, finishing kind of live updates until maybe a month or two from now.
Right.
And then when that's done, we'll think about what's going to go in the DLC if we have DLC, and then we'll see what happens from there. So,
awesome. Well, guys, you heard it here. Make sure you pick up Don't Starve on the next time you're on Steam, or maybe you won it already from one of my raffles on one of my casts. I don't know. I know I've given away Don't Starve at least twice, and the reviews on it are like fantastic. So, anyways, thanks so much for your time here. All right, hey guys. guys, it's Red Dog from REDDOG.TV here, and I am at an indie booth and this game is called Crypt of the Necrodancer. So I've heard about this game. Wasabi was actually talking about this game while we were back in the booth earlier today. He said that it's a dungeon game where you had to dance your way around a dungeon, and as you can see, someone's dancing right here, right now, and trying to get out of there, moving like a Link Zelda type character out of this crypt, and it just looks like it's really fun. It's using a like a Dance Dance Revolution pad right here, so quite interesting to have this in your house. And as you can hear the music, it's quite up to beat. So maybe we can actually grab one of the devs here to kind of discuss where this concept even came from. This is really unique. I've never seen it before. So give me a bit. I'm going to ask the dev for a quick interview. Hey guys, this is Red Dog from REDDOG.TV here. I am here with Ryan, who is the creator of a game called Crypt of the Necrodancer. And as you can see, it's going off right behind him. Someone's dancing right here. So Ryan, welcome. Really great to meet you. And I wanted to know, where did the concept of this game come from?
I'm a big fan of roguelike games. I wanted to make a roguelike game that felt more fair.
Right.
And so I thought, instead of making them, they're normally turn-based and slow,
right,
and you take as much time as you want to think.
Right.
But to make it more skill-based, I think would make it more fair, because when you die, you know exactly why you died. You'd be like, oh, that monster hit me. Yeah. Now I know how he behaves, right, and you learn. So I don't want you to die and blame the game like you do often when you play roguelike games. You're like, what could I have done? With this, it's like, oh, it's clear I should have just moved differently, or you've been better at this fast part of the game. So I wanted to do that. So I tried to make a game where the turns are really short, right, and you're just moving like that, and it felt like, oh, I'm moving on the beat kind of, so I put music to it. Right. This feels really great. And then I came up with the name Necrodancer. I'm like, oh yeah, right, I got to do this now.
And so tell me what the objective, what are these players trying to do other than moving around by moving what looks like a DDR pad here? So what's the objective?
Well, you can play with a keyboard too. The DDR pad is just the fun, hard mode if you happen to have one.
Right, lying around, right?
Yeah, a lot of people do.
Yeah.
You have to move on the beat. If you don't move on the beat, you just won't move.
Okay.
But the enemies will still move. They'll still be coming towards you.
Okay.
So the goal of the game is, you find out in the intro cutscene that the protagonist, she's a woman, she fell to her death in this crypt. Right. As she was digging in a graveyard. You find out why later. But the Necrodancer resurrected her by taking her heart out and making it beat to the music. Okay. So what she's trying to do is get to the end and kill the Necrodancer and get her heart back.
Okay, awesome. Well, this looks like such a fun game, guys. If you're watching this, where is this available? On Steam, or where can they get this?
You can pre-order it at our website, necrodancer.com, but it will be available on Steam for PC and Mac. We're shooting for early access in November.
Okay, so November, guys, for Crypt of the Necrodancer. This has been great, man. Thanks for the interview.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey guys, this is Red Dog from REDDOG.TV coming at you from PAX. This is day 2 here. We have left our Natural Selection 2 booth in the good hands of all the people there, and we have came to a booth of an interesting game called Wildstar. I am here with Don from Carbine Studios. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
Good. So we actually got a little bit of access here on a really cool dedicated press PC to show you a little bit of the game and what this is about. I know that some of you probably have heard of this and have no idea what this is about, but that's what Don is here for, because I have read a little bit about it. I've heard mumbles and jumbles, and I've heard really good things about this game. So I want to bring it to you as Don is going to help me through just some of the basics, and hopefully you'll get some good info. So let us get started here.
Let's start you off from the top here.
There we go.
We'll give you the full thing. Here we go. We'll launch on in. We'll give you the leveling. One of the spokesmen.
There we go.
So we have the Cassian, Draken, Chua, and Makari.
Okay.
Chua, they just revealed recently as their dirty little secret.
Okay.
Each side had their own where they don't really fit as part of the faction. The Chua is what they have for the Dominion. And they're kind of genderless, so as you can see, it's Chua or Chua.
I like that.
You like to kill things.
Right.
We're going to set you up with a warrior. And as it is a demo, you're not able to customize as much as actually in the game, but you can randomize.
And what are the full classes? So there's warrior.
We got the warrior.
I see Esper. What's that?
Esper is your magic-based class.
Okay.
And it's telekinetic energy
okay.
that they use to throw out.
Great.
They either do damage or heal.
Awesome.
Then we have our Stalker. So we'll go through all of them. Your Stalker, this is your roguelike class. This is your stealthy class. This is the one that can either tank or do DPS.
And it tanks by mitigation?
It tanks, here's the best part. Within the game, you get to pick. Do you want an AoE tank? Do you want a single target tank? So within your limited action set, we'll get into that. That's what you decide what you want to do.
That's very cool.
Do you want to collect a bunch of aggro, or do you just want one guy to be stuck on you?
Right. That's awesome.
Lastly, we have our Spell Slinger. It's kind of no guns in his hand. These are the ones who are able to do damage, but they do damage or healing.
Okay.
Everybody has within the Trinity, they have 2 that you can pick.
Okay.
As you go, and you're able to actually switch them out based upon your gear and what you want to do. If for an encounter you need more DPS, I'm gonna put on my DPS stuff. I'm gonna change my action set out.
Very cool, and you can do that anytime on the fly.
When you're out of combat, you can switch it on out.
Very cool.
So you wanted to try out the old warrior here?
Yeah, let's do it.
We give it a couple randomizations. You see one that looks good?
Anything with gray hair.
We'll go next. Now, these are the paths I was telling you about. Everybody plays a certain way. Wildstar wants to cater to that and make it a part of the gameplay. So you have the soldier. You get special tasks like, go kill this guy. That other people won't get. The settlers are social guys. So settlers build up little buff stations or little additional things like, you're way out in the middle of nowhere. Guess what? I am a settler. I built you a taxi back home.
And that's how they progress through the game.
Yeah,
so
and
each one is unique.
It's an additional part. And it's not.
What if I was a settler, or what if I was a soldier and I was like, I want to build that taxi? Can I do that?
You wouldn't be able to.
Okay, so I have to rely on it. Nice.
And that's how it's another level of the social experience. Where,
everyone kind of
like you see in an area chat, hey, I just built a taxi, or I just built a movement speed buff. We have our scientists. Scientists are the guys who are really interested in lore. They have a little scan bot that goes around and scans the flora, the fauna, dead enemies, and it gives them more in-depth story to the game. And then our explorer is exactly that. You like to platform and jump really high. You like to explore the entire map. You will get path XP for doing so. The best part about these player paths is, as part of the social dynamic of the game, you're able to interact with each other. So that not only will the settler make you a taxi, but a soldier might do a holdout. You see him doing it, and you can go help him and get more path XP for yourself.
Okay, very cool. Now, what happens with the dynamics of a population of a server when, say, there's so many soldiers or so many settlers? Does that ever
just more fun?
No, that's true.
You get more settlers. You're able to build something really big. Have some cool event.
That is very cool.
You've got like a bunch of soldiers. This event was made for 1, but guess what? We've got 20. Awesome. Get ready for some craziness.
Yeah, that is really cool how dynamic it is. Yeah, great.
So there you go. We'll get you your soldier.
Awesome. So the combat, as I'm probably going to see, is probably very action oriented, very fluid, very awesome. Ooh, can't wait. And now this entrance here, drilled out of the ground.
We've all got our pods. We've landed on Nexus. That's what we see. So, just as any other game, it's going to give you that nice linear to start. Check this out. So, of course, you can see your quest giver right here in front of you.
All right. So, just to go over what I got here.
This right here is
overdrive.
It gives you some more kinetic energy. The warrior has their rage skill is right here. The more rage, the more warrior resource that you build, you then spend. So you have 1, which is your spammer, that builds up your resource, and 2, as you can see, it's not lit up yet, costs 1 kinetic cell. Once you fill up these cells, you do more damage based upon how much you've built up.
And then leap.
Leap is just one fun CC ability. Check that out.
That is really fun. All right, so we're gonna head over this guy. Guessing right click, okay. And he's giving me a quest. Fantastic.
Nice and pretty. And then you're good to go.
Now I'm heading towards. Where's my little quest?
You just head on out.
Okay.
That's the best part about Wildstar.
Disarming silent. Okay.
You'll see that right there. That little thing lets you know that this is something you're gonna have to kill. And also, if you see on your mini-map up here, that's an indicator of things that you need to kill or do along your way.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're never kind of confused.
You're gonna have to hit your one, that's your spam. There you go.
Okay, oh, so it's not auto, it's just, you just keep on.
Have to keep, it's action. You gotta keep moving. And as you saw, that red telegraph was him trying to hit you. If you had sat there, you would have taken damage.
Okay, and I can dodge. And
now he's still auto-attacking you. Yep, that's a big one. I would say now. But now that you've built up kinetic energy, you can use two, and you're able to
great.
blow them up. Now, one of the fun things is like once you get a house, which we'll talk a little bit about.
Yeah. Oh, housing.
Housing. It's its whole thing, and it's not. It's something that they have their whole entire team doing. It's simply amazing. So when you get your house, they tell you to go up and clear it out, right?
Yeah.
You go and there's literally you have to take out the trash. This is brand new, as everything else is not just given to you. It's not like here's the deed. See if you hit this one. Oh, nice dodge.
That's got out of there.
Nice
That's got out of there.
So you get your house, and one of the cool things about it is it's highly customizable. You want to put a chair in the ceiling?
You can do that.
Fine. You want to make a robotic homage to Lord of the Rings in your basement? You can.
Wow.
So it's highly customizable.
And where are they in the world? Are they instanced separately?
They are instanced, and one of the cool things about it, especially as you've seen some of the servers, when you're first on the server, you'll see them in the sky, and as more people get a house, they kind of show up.
That's really
They also
cool.
have what they call neighboring. Me and you are friends. I'll let you be my neighbor. You can come over and check out my housing plot. Let's say I'm into crafting. So on my housing plot, there are plugs and sockets. Let's say I put a bunch of crafting plugs on there. You want to come over and do crafting on mine? Because you were neighbors, you can come on over. You like dungeons. So you have your own smaller dungeon called an adventure right there. I decide I'm going to come on over and do that adventure at your house.
In the house?
It's actually on the plot.
Oh.
Each housing plot, they have what they call plugs and sockets. So you have so many sockets to put plugs in.
Right.
You decide to put in your own personalized dungeon. You put in your own Ferris wheel.
Really?
They have a bunch of different things that you're able to plug into your house to really make it your own.
That is really, really cool. And how many, in terms of loot, is it instance loot or everybody sees the same thing? What's the loot? What's the loot looking like?
The loot right now, Econ is still working on the itemization and what is going to drop. But it's going to be for the bigger ones. It's going to be like a master loot sort of video.
Well, I think now one of my questions I think that I have is PvP.
I'm your man.
Tell me about it. Tell me about like how the PvP system works, and I think this will be our last bit here. How does PvP work? How does are there going to be arenas? Are they going to be structured, or is it going to be open world? What's PvP look like in WildStar?
Well, for your open world stuff, there's going to be servers that are PvE or PvP based. So for those who want to do just PvE, they'll have it.
Okay.
Within the game, though, you're able to tag yourself on or off.
Okay.
So
does that have a cooldown, or is there you can just like a light
up
switch?
In the air.
Okay.
It is a switch, and if you engage it, right now there's a 5-minute cooldown.
Okay.
But basically, for your big systems, you have your battlegrounds.
Okay.
Battlegrounds, you're able to start from the very beginning. So if you get in the game and you're a PvPer, queue right up, right for it.
Day one.
Day one.
PvP.
You can be doing PvP right from the start.
Awesome.
Then what we have.
Can you level through that?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So you can basically
and
level.
We're really
through
working
PvP.
on balancing it. So it's not with a lot of MMOs. It's PvP is kind of optional. You can kind of level. They're really trying to make it a balance. So if that's what you like to do, you're not going to be far behind.
Right.
At Elder Game, at our max level 50, you have arenas and war plots.
Okay.
Arenas are 2v2, 3v3, and 5 versus 5.
Right.
And then our war plots are 20 versus 20 or 40 versus 40.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's going to be a whole deal. For those who,
Are there going to be objective-based, like capture a tower, or I guess maybe sieges?
What I can tell you about war plots, they are going to require immense coordination. What I can also tell you is there's going to be a raid pit boss.
Right.
You can go and capture something in a dungeon. You can go capture something in PvE, a big raid boss, and put him on your war plot. And release him in your war plot.
And he's on your
side.
Oh, wow.
So, imagine catching Illidan and letting him loose on your war plot.
And he's carrying your flag.
Exactly, for your war plot.
That's awesome, that's awesome. Well, guys, that has been just kind of a short overview of WildStar. I mean, I'm sure there's like tons of stuff that we didn't cover. I mean, oh, but you know what? Before I go, crafting?
Crafting is a deep and rich system.
Deep and rich, probably don't even have the time for it right now.
we'd have to sit down and have a coffee because it's just, it's another, every system that's in the game, they want it to be an experience. It's not like there's just PvP or PvP. Every system is just full. So for those that like crafting, you're going to be able to make a whole thing of it. Whether you raid, PvP, or just do it by yourself.
Right. That's awesome. That sounds awesome. Well, guys, the game is called WildStar. Is there kind of like a release window or anything?
We're looking at spring 2014.
Okay, so spring 2014. May change, may not, but hey, guys, I'm excited for this game. So thanks a lot again for talking with me. I'll catch you guys on the next interview. All right, guys, I am here at a new booth. This game is called Forced Tactical Arena Co-op. I am here with Stefan. How you doing, man?
I'm doing
Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. These guys are Beta Dwarf Entertainment. So we were passing by this. Me and Scaredy Bob were passing by this earlier. We're seeing this really, really beautiful game. And for some reason, I don't pass by things that look so clean like this much here. I mean, there's some really great games here, but this looks really crisp and polished. So, Stefan, let's tell everybody, first of all, what is Forced? What is the game? What's the overview? What are they doing?
They are fighting for their freedom, like in the Gladiator movie. So basically it's about people who have been enslaved to gladiatorism. And then you fight for recognition in order to win your freedom, essentially.
And are you playing one character to multiple?
Like 4 characters, either locally, like a couch gaming experience, or online.
Okay. So these guys here right now, like they're getting ready for an arena?
They're getting ready for the arena. It's like an arcade RPG, so it's like Crash Bandicoot progression.
Okay.
So you collect crystals and you level up, but there's no grinding at all.
Okay, you just go through and
it's
awesome.
Like Demon's Souls difficulty.
Yeah, awesome.
There's no easy way to do it.
So where did the concept of this game come from? Were you just one day sitting at a Starbucks and you're like, hey, Forced?
Well, we had this little spirit ball, and you see that floating around. It's like a player shared character.
Right.
And basically we invented that, and we thought, well, this sucks. And then we spent a year finding out how we actually could do anything with it.
Yeah.
So now we are using it like a puzzle maker, so it sort of changes the rules in all the different arenas throughout the campaign.
Right.
So we sort of have the mechanic to mingle with in each of the different trials, and that sort of really makes a different experience in all of the different levels.
Right. Yeah. And what are the classes? I'm seeing like a bunch of different. What are there different classes here? Or?
There. It's like the Spirit Ninja and Captain America Frost Shield.
Okay.
And we have a Stormbow, shoots lightning, and a volcanic hammer. And they each have really distinctive abilities.
Okay.
And so all the action is also really much action oriented.
Right.
In comparison to Diablo, because Diablo is much point and click and you have to stand still while you attack.
Right.
But here you can move while you attack.
Right.
How cool is that?
That is awesome.
Really,
that is awesome. And what platform does this come on?
Steam, so PC, Mac, and Linux. It's actually early released 4 days ago.
Okay.
So it will be released 24th of October.
Okay, all right, 24th of October, guys. So make sure you guys check this out when it comes out. So it's called Forced. This is Red Dog. I will catch you at the next interview. Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. All right, I am here with Whitney from Compulsion Studios. How you doing?
Good.
Good? I'm good, I'm good. All right, so the game here that I'm standing in front of is called Contrast. Whitney, what's your title? What's your position here with Compulsion?
Concept artist.
You're the concept artist. All right, so far, if you can already see, I don't know if you can kind of see the art of this game. It's pretty unique. I'm totally digging it. So, Whitney, tell me about like what is Contrast? What's the game about? What's the whole thing about the game?
You play Dawn.
Okay.
You're the imaginary friend of Dee Dee, the little girl.
Okay.
And your magic ability is you can shift into the wall and become your own shadow.
Whoa.
So you play in the wall as a 2D, in the 2D space.
Okay. And
shadows.
it's complete. Is it side-scrolling completely, or like? I'm trying to peek.
I'm sorry. So you so you can run on the walls in 2D space, but you can shift out into 3D as well.
Okay.
And you can play with shadows to create new traversal spaces to run on.
Okay. And where did you come up with like this concept, like with this kind of art design? Like, what was your inspiration for this type of world and this type of art design?
Well, the studio head came up. He's also a programmer.
Right.
And he came up with the shadow mechanics, and then we had to find an art style that complemented that and could work with that. So we were going with a film noir, German expressionist. Okay.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. So objective-wise, okay, so you can be a shadow and then you can not and all that stuff. So objective-wise, what's the story? What's the objectives of the game? Why are you doing this? Why are you kind of going into the shadows and not and all that stuff?
Well, you would use the shadows to get to spaces you can't get to in 3D. Then you can move forward in the game by using your space to get to things you could get to. But your objective is to help Dee Dee. Dee Dee comes from a troubled family, and she lives in a very adult world. And you're kind of helping her make sense of that as her imaginary friend.
Okay, and this game is out already, as I understand, or?
It'll be out mid-November.
Mid-November. Okay, guys. So mid-November, you're going to be looking for a game called Contrast. And is this going to be available on Steam, or how's this going to be actually distributed out?
Steam, PS3, for an Xbox.
Okay, there you go. There's the platforms for you. All right, guys. This has been Red Dog Whitney. Thanks so much for being here with us. All right. Take care, guys. We'll see you on the next one. I am here, guys, with Zach from Zachtronics. How you doing, man?
Great.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for taking time out to do some interviews. I know you've probably been bombarded with like a ton of interviews all day, but this is a pretty great space you got right here. I mean, everyone's coming through here. This looks like a main thoroughfare through the indie section.
Oh yeah, the indie mega boot's been great.
Yeah, it's great. So guys, behind me, if you can see, Ironclad Tactics right over here. It's an indie game, so Zach is actually going to help us figure out what this game is about, what the whole concept is, and what the objectives are. So, Zach, I'm going to ask you, what is Ironclad Tactics?
So Ironclad Tactics is a fast-paced, card-based tactics game. It's an alternate history Civil War with robots.
Did you hear that? Yeah. Alternate Civil War with robots. Yeah. If you're already not interested, you're dead. Because that's already cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else? Robots in the Civil War, come on now. So what else?
There's three key things to know about the game. One, it's fast. A turn in this game lasts 5 seconds.
Okay.
So that's kind of uncommon for tactics
now,
games.
So you have to set everything up in 5 seconds and it'll auto-turn?
So what it is you have 5 seconds in which to play cards, deploy units, equip ironclads, which are giant robots, weapons, and give your units orders. And then they'll carry out those orders at the end of the turn. So they move automatically, they fire automatically.
And you gotta be quick. I mean,
you gotta be quick, but it's not too fast. So like there's no menus. We've removed a lot of the cruft of tactics games. It's sort of streamlined into a process where you're just making constant tactical decisions.
Okay, and is this played against people? Is it against a computer or what?
So that's point 2. Okay. The game is story. The core experience of it is a story-driven single-player co-op experience.
Okay.
We have an 80-page graphic novel in game that tells an epic character-driven story. Which something a lot of card games lack, I think.
Right.
And out of that comes all of the missions, all of the cards, all of the experience.
That's awesome. This sounds really good. Where did the concept of this come from?
We actually made a game a long time ago where I wanted to make something that was about steam-powered robots.
Okay.
And I wanted something that was a little steampunky, but without being the same that everybody else was doing at the time. So instead we made it about Americana. So what was going on at that time was Civil War. So we kind of took in that sort of like the gritty, like Civil War atmosphere, the Wild West, really hit it all.
Awesome, awesome. And so this is going to be, is it available now? Is it, what's the timetable?
Brings us to point number 3.
Okay, all right.
This game is...
We're just moving right along.
Yeah. This game, it's anti-free to play. A lot of card games that are out now are free to play, which means that every time you want some new cards, you have to buy a booster pack. You don't know what you're going to get. You're shelling out money. You're constantly. It's not this game. This is like a proper indie game where we're selling the game. It's available for pre-order on Steam right now.
Okay.
It's like $13 on sale. And when you get the game,
nothing, guys. Come on.
It's practically free.
Skip a trip to McDonald's for one day.
Yeah.
All right.
Except when you get the game, you get all the cards, and you unlock them not by giving us more money, but by playing the game, by getting mastery of it, by beating challenges, by beating puzzles, by playing with your friends. All these things reward you with cards, and it's a wonderful experience.
So they can pre-order right now. When's the actual release?
September 18th.
September 18th. Yeah. Oh my God, that's this month, guys. It's right around the corner. So make sure you guys check Steam, check out Ironclad Tactics. Zach from Zachtronics.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for the interview. All right.
Has been it for PAX Day 2. We still have tomorrow and Monday to go through. Really hope you enjoyed today's content. Tried to bring you a lot of what's going on with NS2 and obviously a lot of what's going on at PAX. Wasabi, I know, is behind me right now doing something. I haven't really looked back yet, so I don't even know if it's hilarious or not. So you may be laughing, but you may not be. You also may... Something happened right behind me and I don't know what it was, but we'll catch you for tomorrow at PAX Day 3. Catch you later, guys.